all heard of Grand Seiko by now, right? The luxury Japanese watch brand known for its extreme attention to detail, proprietary spring drive movements, and finishing on par with, or even better than watch brands Stratosphere's higher in price. Now, did you know that Grand Seiko houses a micro artist studio with a small team of craftsmen and women that create even more luxurious pieces than your typical Grand Seiko? Well, they do, and I have one. Well, I'm borrowing one. This is A Week on the Wrist with the Credor Eichi II. Shiojiri is a small city in Japan that's about a 3-hour train ride west of Tokyo. There, you'll find Grand Seiko's Shinshu watch studio, which is responsible for making all of its spring drive and quartz movement watches. Within this space, there's an elite group of a little over 10 Japanese watchmakers that make up the world-class micro artist studio. Their goal is to make watches that last generations and to pursue watchmaking that Japanese people could be proud of. And proud they must be because the incredibly limited number of watches they produce are fantastic. And I don't use that word lightly. The micro artist studio makes a few Grand Seikos within their masterpiece collection, but they're also responsible for making watches for their Japanese domestic brand, Credor. While Grand Seiko focuses on creating the best practical watches, Credor is all about that luxury life. Take this Credor Eichi II that I've been wearing for the last week. At first glance, it looks simple, right? But if you look closer, you start to realize just how special this watch is. Think that's a regular white dial? Nope. Handmade Noritake porcelain that only one watchmaker in Japan could make. In fact, a vast majority of the ones that he does create are damaged and don't even make it to final production. That's because porcelain dials are extremely difficult to manufacture. Those hour markers look kinda simple, right? Well, the design is fairly simple, but the application of these markers doesn't even seem within the realm of human possibility to me. You see, the hour markers, the Credor emblem, and the tiny text at the bottom of the dial were all hand painted. Yes, there is one individual master craftsman at the micro artist studio that hand paints every single Eichi II dial, and I don't think he has an apprentice. If he doesn't, he should get one. I'm looking at these painted lines under a macro lens, and yeah, this doesn't make any sense. In a world where it seems that caffeine and other jittery hand-inducing legal stimulants are consumed more than healthier fluids, how does someone have a steady enough hand to paint such precise lines at this tiny of a scale? Everything is still so unbelievably crisp that you'd think it was laser painted. I don't think laser painting is a thing, but if it was, it sounds pretty damn precise, right? Nonetheless, I don't understand it. The dial is fantastic, and again, I don't use that word lightly. Oh, and don't forget the 3 heated blue hands. I guess I'm not as amazed at them because I'm constantly staring at the big, beautiful heated blue GMT hand of my personal SBGM 221. Grand Seiko spoiled the fun a little for me, but there's nothing like seeing the Credor's heated blue seconds hand effortlessly glide across that mesmerizing porcelain dial. What powers that seconds hand and the whole watch is Credor's in-house hand-wound spring drive caliber 7R14. It has a 60-hour power reserve and is accurate to plus or minus 1 second per day. While still outstanding, these numbers are close to what you'd get from a lot of other spring drive calibers. Again, Grand Seiko already spoiled me a bit, but the Credor's finishing is on another level. Usually when I look at a movement from, I don't know, insert any high-end luxury watchmaker, it looks crisp, like I'm looking at a 1080p resolution image, which is a huge feat seeing that we're looking at something only 30 or so millimeters in diameter. When I look at this 7R14, it's like seeing 4K for the very first time. I cannot see a single pixel or blemish, no matter how close I get or how close I attempt to get with a macro lens. Fun fact, the bevels are polished using gentian wood that the famous watchmaker Philippe Dufour actually suggested the micro artist team use a while back. Thing is, that gentian wood isn't naturally grown in Japan, so the micro artist team gets the wood from a Japanese hospital that grows the plant for research purposes. Fun fact part 2, the movement is designed to look like a Japanese kikyo or bellflower. Do you see it? Stem, flower, petals? Neat. So how does this 39mm 18-karat rose gold watch fit on my 7.25-inch wrist, and what was it like to wear? For dressier watches, I honestly prefer something in the 36 to 38mm range, but even with my preference for something smaller, this watch looks right at home strapped on my caramel latte wrist. Looks so good, I don't want to give it back. I will. Don't worry, I'm a nice guy. However, if I did want one, I'd be looking at paying $42,000 retail and waiting quite a while because the micro artist studio only produces a small amount per year. Like an extremely small amount. Grand Seiko doesn't officially disclose production numbers, but trust me, it's low. I think there's just something about this watch that's undeniably special compared to almost anything else out there. It's a simple design that at first glance doesn't really attract too much attention, and I dig that. I'm not much of a flexer, and I'm assuming a lot of you watching this video aren't either. I like watches because of the craftsmanship and engineering that's involved with creating these miniature works of art. The Credor Eichi II is the epitome of this. Every single detail of the watch that appears rather simple required literally world-class skill to produce. It's truly fantastic. And again, I don't use, well, you get it by now. It's a great watch.